Still don't have a player with 10 points in the ball game. 3:39 remaining in the first half. An 8-point Philadelphia lead. Philadelphia has out-rebounded LA off the offensive glass 12-5, and in points 17-7 that way. Erving outside. Cheeks and Richardson at the guards, and Mo Cheeks hitting out and hitting. Mo Cheeks with 8 points. He's averaged 3 points more in the playoffs than he did in the regular year at 14. And now once again a 10-point lead. That's the 4th time the Sixers have had a 10-point bulge in the game. Johnson goes to Kareem, and Earl Curitin commits the foul. And Abdul-Jabbar will go to the line to shoot 1 and the penalty. Earl Curitin was a junior eligible from the University of Detroit and a 3rd-round draft choice. He's in his 2nd year.
That's a young man that has his work cut out for him today.
And he's in there because Darryl Dawkins and Caldwell Jones each have 3 personal fouls. When you consider that the centers are in foul trouble and Tony hasn't scored, and use of Curitin and Banham, the Sixers, pretty fortunate here to be up by 9 points.
They're playing good basketball.
Kareem, by the way, you want to see something more amazing, has hit in double figures in 379 straight regular season games. He has 10, so that doesn't count. That's the regular season, but there's a story about him when he scores 20, which we'll tell you about. Equally as impressive, more so maybe. Cheeks in low to Banham against McAdoo. Blocked shot by McAdoo. Loose ball, and it's still Philadelphia possession. And they'll have a new clock, I believe. Kareem goes over to Darryl Garrison to protest it. Now Earl Strom goes over. They may not have 24 seconds on the clock. Let's see.
The ball has to hit the basket in order to get a new 24.
The thing about Kareem that I'm really impressed with, he has scored 20 or more points, Bill, in 100 of the 105 playoff games he's played.
I'll take the responsibility.
Well, that's difficult for me to relate to that kind of scoring.
Well, you saw 20 once in a while. You blocked 20 shot. I had a lot of rebounds.
I saw a lot of 20s floating around the game, but getting 20 points myself.
Andrew Toney's coming back in with 15 now on the shot clock. So here's Andrew, who's 1 for 8 and only 2 points in the game. Richardson gets a hand as he goes out. Good game so far by Clint Richardson. 8-point Philadelphia lead, 2:45 remaining in the first half. Julius against double team Magic. Out to Cheeks with 4 seconds. 3-point attempt by Mo is short. Julius keeps it alive. Curitin, Erving. He's done so many of these things.
I don't know what it was, but it looked good.
Again, a 10-point lead. 2:20 to go in the half. Wilkes inside against Banham. Kareem has the ball knocked away. Julius trying to save it, and does to Banham. Here comes a 2-on-2. Cheeks threading his way in. Basket counts and a foul. Big play, Philadelphia.
That's a save by Julius up in there. Passes it. Banham to Cheeks. Take this move.
Stop and go by Maurice Cheeks and Julius Erving, who does it all. One of the class people in all of sports. And Maurice Cheeks makes the 3-point play. We'll check the foul and who it was on. It was on Nixon. Second on Nixon. Less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. Kareem with an easy 2. Don't forget, Frank Lieber is in the coach's room with Hubie Brown, coach of the Knicks, and Kevin Lockery, coach of the Hawks at halftime. Cooper will be coming back in for the Lakers. 11-point lead for Philadelphia. Biggest lead was 13. 8 seconds on the shot clock. No question that Philadelphia's bench has kept them afloat here in the first half. Julius, no good, and coming down with it, Magic, with a minute and a half. McAdoo. Ball slapped by Erving. He got his hands on the ball, and you could hear it up to the last row. Offensive rebounding story as Michael Cooper re-enters the ball game. Philadelphia, and that's what they did in the first half of last Thursday's game. And this is the points, the second chance points they've capitalized on. Philadelphia's bench has really been the key to this first half.
What Philadelphia has done a little unusual for them, and the reason they have the lead, is that they've done a great job on the boards. Now, they are not a good rebounding team, and so that is not a part of their game. So if they're normally they'll be out-rebounded by most teams. But in this particular situation, they have done a great job on the board. Now, the Lakers, on the other hand, are one of the great rebounding teams in the league. And And so if the team is out rebounding them, that creates problems for them.
The last thing you said, Bill, before we went off the air Thursday night was, I said, what do you think about what's coming up Sunday? And you mentioned one name, Maurice Cheeks, because as you said, he's the bass drummer if they're a marching band. Maurice Cheeks has 10 points and 6 assists, and there is no question that Cheeks has to have a good game if Philadelphia is to win, and so far he's done well. And there you see him guarding Norm Nixon. Wilkes over Bantam. Rebound, the dot. He was hit by McAdoo in the head, and that'll be the 15th foul on the Lakers, and Julius Erving will go to the line. Second on McAdoo, and Julius will go to the line and shoot with 1:14 to go in the first half. Brent Musburger at halftime. The update on the French Open and Indianapolis 500, the coach's room as well.
You know, when you think of Julius Erving, very rarely do you think of him as a great rebounder. But when he started in pro basketball in the old ABA, that was his job, to try to get 20 boards a game, 20 rebounds a game, and let the other guys shoot. And they found out that he could score too. And Kenny scored.
He was the MVP last year, the first non-center to be the most valuable player since Oscar Robertson back in 1964. And so far, Julius has 11 points, make it 13, and 8 rebounds. 13-point lead, matches the biggest of the ball game, and Bantam hooked Wilkes. And Wilkes will shoot one in the penalty. Mike, his expression tells it.
And being the MVP in the league from the forward position is the single most difficult job in pro sports, I believe. Because to dominate from the forward position, you have to have just superb qualities as an athlete.
Here's Jamal Wilkes. 8th straight year in the playoffs, had 10 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. World championship in his rookie year at Golden State in '75 when he was also named Rookie of the Year. The Lakers have never lost when Wilkes has scored 30 or more points. They're 22-0. Right now in the game, he's going for a 7, and he doesn't get it. Puritan rebounds with under a minute to play in the first half.
And the Sixers have been able to maintain a lead with Caldwell Jones and Daryl Dawkins both out. And so they're playing a good all-around game so far.
And Tony not scoring. They have 12 seconds on the shot clock. And they're going to call another illegal defense against the Lakers, and that should be their second, and a technical foul will be called here. And Pat Riley is off the bench to talk to Darryl Garrettson. There's Pat Riley, the 37-year-old coach who took all Westhead on November 19th and has done a terrific job with this team. And Julius will shoot the technical.
I would rather have left the building than to shoot a technical foul.
Billy Cunningham, who's going to be 39 next week, June the 3rd. Kangaroo Kid from the University of North Carolina. 39 seconds. And 16 on the shot clock. Julius gets it back to Tony. Quick passing. Puritan, Cheeks in the corner. Bantam tries to keep it alive, and Earl Puritan might have run into Michael Cooper, and that's what they're going to call the foul on. Puritan, 3 on Earl, and L.A. is going to shoot him.
And all 3 of their centers now have 3 fouls.
Right. The Lakers scored the first 5 points in the ball game, but Philadelphia has maintained the lead throughout, with the lead ranging from 4 to 10, and at most 14-13. 27 seconds to go, and Cooper shooting. High scorers right now. Abdul-Jabbar has 12 to lead the Lakers. Magic Johnson 9 and Kurt Rambis 8. Julius Erving 13. Maurice Cheeks 11. Dawkins 9. Caldwell Jones 8. But Caldwell Jones and Dawkins have 3 fouls. 10-point lead, 26 seconds. And Lakers putting the pressure on as the Sixers can play it out now. Not really. There's a 2-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. 9 seconds on the shot clock. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Julius isolated against Wilkes. And Cheeks fires. No good. 1 second to go, and they don't get the shot off. And so Philadelphia 76ers desperately needing a win. Billy Cunningham knows as well as anyone. And the Sixers have a 10-point lead at halftime, trailing 1-0 in the best of 7 for the NBA World Championship. And we'll be back with Frank Kleber.